hope this makes sense. I think
Well, you better let somebody else speak first.
I think anytime you work at a place for an extended period of time, friendships are formed and relationships are built. I mean, like Gary's been here a long time. I think Tate and I are 24 and 25 years, whatever. One guy that everybody seems to gravitate to is Scooter. I know this past year he worked with the TBT, and he texted us and said, "Hey, can you come here? Can you come here?" And we did, and he treated us just like one of the guys who was welcoming and friendly. And can you just talk about the impact he had at this place, not just from a basketball perspective, but as a whole?
Well, before Scooter ever came to work for the athletic department, if I'm not mistaken, he was had the honor of being basically the teacher of the year out of his department. He was well respected on campus long before he actually came and started working here, even though he knew all the guys in the athletic department. I know Ray Bouchard had a very close and unique relationship with him, as did a lot of guys that played here during Greg's time or Jock's time or Kurt Nick's time and Drew. He had a relationship with everybody, but I believe we officially got him to come over and run our academics right when we got here. And in that time, he touched everybody. I would challenge anybody to say one negative thing about Scott Ward or Robin in any way, shape, or form, how they treated people. The one time that they had an encounter with them, how it wasn't positive and made them better in some way, shape, or form. So he's special, and certainly a huge part of what we have been over time. And you stop and think about the people that he has impacted directly and the ones that he has impacted indirectly without even a close relationship, just because they see how the man operates on a day-to-day basis. So he was a special guy and been suffering so much that I said this the other day, and I think we all that knew him would agree. He's had 9 lives, but he needed a 10th one. We've all, even you guys that just came across him and maybe in a way that was different, but just in any encounter whatsoever, you could say, you know what? Being around him and seeing him operate makes you want to be more like him. And I think that's about as big a compliment as you can give a man, that his presence makes you feel good, but also makes you feel that you're not reaching your potential, because you see how he conducts his own business. So,
with some greater distance from Saturday's game, what are the main things you want to see you guys do better tomorrow?
Everything. I mean, our communication defensively was poor. We didn't guard the ball at all. We didn't do a lot of things well the other day. Now, granted, they got a nice team and they can score the ball, and we let them get comfortable. But certainly, I think that Henry, that without just putting one thing on it, I thought it was certainly an effort that isn't worthy of winning games on the road against quality competition.
And then, based on what happened the other day, how do you want to approach Darryn's minutes tomorrow?
Well, I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer. With that being said, I said minute restriction. That minute restriction is there's no guarantee. There's not a medical evidence saying only playing this much or playing that much or anything like that. The one thing I would say, playing less in the first half is something that we haven't done. So if we haven't done it, would that possibly impact the second half? So don't know, but I'll wait and see how he feels. He felt really, really good the other day, and played obviously pretty well the first half. But the the second half, after the first TV timeout, obviously needed to come out, and then sub him in and makes a three in 15 seconds, and need to come out then too. So don't think for a second that he didn't play down the stretch because of minute restriction. He didn't play down the stretch because his legs didn't allow him to do that. So hope like heck that it'll be better, but we don't quite have the formula yet in how to do this. Nor does anybody have a formula yet. Everybody can be a quarterback from Monday morning quarterback or whatever, but I don't think anybody has the answer specifically on how to handle it. Other than the fact he feels well. He's playing. He feels well, and certainly just not quite to the point where he can probably go extended like for we need him to go. So long story short, I don't really know.
Coach, I wanted to swing back to Scooter real quick. I was wondering if you might offer for the fans and folks on the outside, the insider's view of, the fans see athletes and judge them by the competition, by what they see on the court or on the field. From a guy like Scooter, who's really the giant of the department, beloved by everybody, and he's from the academic side and the student life side, and how important that is within this department and for everybody here. Could you help explain what the role of Scooter was and those guys in general in keeping everything running here?
Since Scooter's been here, there has been one person, and that was basically before he got here, that completed their eligibility that does not have the degree. That's a lot of dudes running through here. If you were to go back, better than ask me, but go back and ask Frank and Devontae and Thomas and Marcus and Cole and Dub and Keith, and no matter what era it is, they would say that guy probably had as big an impact on him from an inspiration standpoint and what a man looks like as anybody has. So great guy. He's also, he's a doctor and a sport performance. He could work with the guys in a lot of different ways too, other than from a friendship only type deal. I mean, he helped them with anxiety and what was going on with them and a lot of different things. And so, yeah, he's a unique guy. But the biggest thing that I think he provided our guys and the other student athletes that he worked with, because it wasn't just our guys, but obviously a big role with us, is how could you wake up and feel sorry for yourself or have a bad day when a guy that you watch every day, got to get up at 5 o'clock so he can be working by 8, with all the different things that he has to do and everything, and never once bitch or moan about it. So that was something that we probably took for granted more than we should have. And that was he was a big part. He needed to be with us all the time, or our guys all knew something was something missing. So and he was. We took him everywhere, and was proud to have him.
Bill, what's the balance of Peterson he plays with finding his own shot and kind of also maximizing the other guys on offense, keeping them engaged?
I would say, I talked to the guys about this yesterday, and that do we really know how to play with each other yet? And I used the case in point that when Darryn was in the game, Melvin scored 0, and when he's out of the game, he scored 20. That's actually a good and a bad thing. So you're capable of doing it. We just got to learn how to fit and be more aggressive, and everybody learn their roles. I think when I say learn their roles, I think we know our roles. I don't think that we've exercised and practiced our roles in a way that we need to when maybe Darren's out there, as opposed when he's not out there. Now other guys are probably doing things a little differently because you don't have a security blanket as much. So that'll work itself out. That's a good problem to have, and certainly we look forward to trying to solve it. But as far as a balance, I think ball and body movement, and certainly guys staying aggressive to the point where you're not deferring. Nobody wants anybody to defer, but we also have to take advantage of him being out there. And the other thing is we need to play. He needs to take advantage of those guys when he's out there, because just like the first play of the game, 2 guys run at him and Trey gets an uncontested 3. There should be more of that, I think, going on.
Yeah, and obviously there's a lot on the line for him with draft stuff and KU, and he's very important for you guys' overall success. But has there been discussion, if the cramps continue, of shutting him down with his camp with him overall?
No. The kid, he no, not at all. There's people that have their own opinions, on that. But no, that hasn't been one thing talked about that. We hope it doesn't get to that, obviously. But this is something he's going to have to deal with regardless of timing and all that stuff moving forward. So hopefully we can help him get his arms around that and deal with it.
Bill, you talked about TCU beating Florida earlier this season. Outside of that, is there anything that stands out about that team this season?
Yeah, well, they played well. You look at them. They beat Florida. They beat obviously Baylor yesterday or Saturday. They beat Wisconsin. I mean, they've got some good wins. They play extremely hard. They're not as big, maybe, as what they have been some other years in the past as far as standing height, but they play hard, and they switch a lot, and they deny, and they make it really hard to score. Their defensive efficiency is really up there and really high, and they've always been a team that plays fast. So we'll have to do a good job guarding the ball, and especially in transition. But Jamie and his staff, they've done a good job. They've got a really nice team.
And then, how did El Marco hurt his knee?
Excuse me?
How did El Marco hurt his knee?
I don't know the exact play and how he did it, but that was kind of things that could probably go wrong the other day with Darryn. That was probably about as much as it could, considering obviously Melvin getting 2 very quick ones and El Marco's knee bothered him. So we really didn't have a lot of guard depth at that point. But he practiced yesterday, even though we went really light. But practiced yesterday, and hopefully he'll feel better soon. But there's some things about El Marco and his knee coming off patellar tendon surgery that I think some days it actually does feel better than other days. But he'll be fine.
Are they both probable tomorrow?
Yeah.
I was wondering, as a coach, when Darryn hit that second half 3, he's en route to 40 points. Maybe things are looking good. Did he just run off? How does he let you know that?
I knew. I asked him. So I knew during the game. One of my coaches said that he motioned something to them, and then I knew it. I knew it then. So yeah, he went back in and stuck to 3, but just couldn't move like he needed to.
Is it getting hard as a coach to coach basically 2 different units when he's in or when he's out?
I don't want to say hard. I think coaches and teams go through this all the time, and when you have a full complement of guys, or maybe you think you do and then you don't, and all that stuff, that happens a lot. So we'll just have to adjust.
Is Dawson's wrist bothering him, or is he okay?
I think he should be fine. I think he's fine.
We saw Samis a lot toward the end of the game the other day. Obviously, Bryson was laboring a little bit, but where is Samis at right now in his development, and how did
Where's
you think? Samis.
Yeah,
Samis.
I think Salmis has done fine. He hadn't really had a chance to play, and we've kind of been happy with how Trey and Flory and Bryson have played together. But I didn't think we got a lot accomplished the other day. And then you're behind, and so you're behind, and you may have to scramble and get your most athletic guys out there. That was as much as anything.
I know Baylor recently signed a guy that had been drafted, and there's been some other kind of weird signings. Do you like the direction it's headed? Do you think it needs to be reeled in, or do you have a kind of thought on how it's all playing out? I mean, it's all different.
Well, first of all, I don't see there's why anybody would bitch and moan about anybody signing anybody that's within the rules. I mean, nobody did anything wrong. It's been vetted and worked on and signed. Now, with that being said, now the rules maybe could use some serious tweaking and adjustments, because why you would allow certain things to happen. But I don't have a problem with it if it's within the rules and the guidelines, the way they're written, and then you know they did a good job in finding out a scenario in which he could be eligible. So nothing. There's and I actually I told Scott that. I said, I don't understand why everybody is up in arms over something that's 100% permissible. If you guys get a chance to get a break on your taxes by something that's totally permissible, I mean, are you going to do it? I mean, I don't see the issue. I do see the issue in what everybody said, leadership and where we're going and all those things, because I think we've been on a track where we have absolutely no sail, no rudder in the water, so to speak, and we're just kind of drifting and without a real direction. So hopefully there's be some things. Our sport is still good. Our sport is still good. There's a lot of good things about it, but there's too many things that obviously has occurred and it has drawn a lot of attention to it, that hopefully within leadership, some of those things, or most of those things, can be solved. I don't think it's just in our sport too. I think our sport has been the one that has probably been talked about the most in recent time, but you know, other sports have it too, and football will be right at the forefront now that they're in their portal season. And then it may shift back to us or whatever, but I just think as a whole, we've got to do a lot of things to get the guardrails back on, so to speak. Primarily in basketball. I don't know anything about football, but primarily basketball.
Bill, you talked the other day about not throwing it into Flory. How much of that falls on him, and what can he do, if anything?
I think a lot can fall on him. I think a lot can, like we watch tape, and you know, you catch the ball on the perimeter, and the first thing you do is bounce it back in the direction that it came from. Just cost us 2 points because he's wide open, and we don't even look to him. So a lot of it, I think, is on the perimeter, but I think he can demand more too. He and Bryson both.
Just defensively, what has made this group so good, and even without forcing turnovers, is that a concern for you at all? And do you want to see maybe more havoc created?
Sure, but I don't think you can say what has made this group so good, because we absolutely sucked on Saturday. So I don't think that's you know that's really the correct thing to say. I think you could say we have been good in stretches and in times, but not consistently like we need to be. Causing havoc is part of it, which we didn't do the other day. But rebounding is part of it too. Talking is part of it too. Paying attention to scout report is part of it too. There's a lot of things as part of it that we can certainly get better at. I'm not as hung up on one stat. I'm more hung up on an end result. And our end result the other day was poor.
Yeah.
What did the tape, we talked about defense just now, what did you learn? What did the tape show? Because in almost every other game, it was excellent. it seems to us.
Yeah, I think that was to your point too. I think attacking switches. I think they did a really good job of attacking switches and attacking our bigs downhill.
Any chance the team was rusty after a long layoff, or are you still happy with the 10 days?
It's a good question. And I could probably say, because I even asked my staff, should we not have, do you try to squeeze in a game? You can probably get more done in practice than you can in squeezing in a game that time of year, all that stuff. But if I'm not mistaken, we had about 21 points with 12 minutes or 13 minutes left in the first half. So that's not, usually when you're rusty, that shows more on offense than it does defense. And so that would just be an excuse, Gary.
All right,
Thanks, Coach.
All right.